go ahead and pull out all those plants. So hopefully they'll come back with lovely flowers. And we finally get a purple one. And the puppy. Right, another day of checking in with my plants because I'm obsessed. They're all looking really good. A lot more of these guys have come open. Look at them corn. They're good looking corn, aren't they? Alright. Shall we uncover this? Have a look. Alright, and there is the gherkins. Oh, I can see some there, that's good. None of my home picked dill seeds, but they haven't been in there that long. And then, oh, these guys are looking good. Just going to wait for their their true leaves, as it were, and then we'll pop them into their own containers. It is probably the easiest way to do tomatoes is that way because the seeds can be a little bit small. And then these guys, more tomatoes, and what are those? Oh, those are my dad's seeds. So they did grow very well. They were probably ready to go. We're going to turn them because they're leaning towards the light. So we're going to turn them opposite and put them back in there. And we'll get that all covered back up. Right, and then the thing we needed to do today was I was going to do my pumpkins. I don't know where all the flowers I want to plant. Alright, after going through a few more seeds, I did find them. So I'm going to do Queensland Blue. And I'm going to do some butternut. And some saved seeds also from buttercup as well, because we quite like that buttercup. So we'll get ourselves set up and away we go. Right, container's all full. So we're going to do 4 of the butternut squash. Oh, that doesn't really matter. Hold it. There we go. I'm only sticking 1 in each because technically I only want 1 to grow into each container because I would like them to get really big and healthy before I put them out. So if we happen to have 1 fail or whatever, then I'll just have to replant them. But just go with 1 of each of those in there. The Queensland Blue, we only want 2. So same as the other ones. Just see, I've only got 3 seeds in there. So what I might do is just because that one looks a bit sad, I'll put 2 in that one, and then that thing can go. And then the butternut. Which my mum likes, so we'll grow some butternut and then can share it with my mum. So I'll do 2 in each of these, just because these are a little bit smaller. There we go. Right. Fairly decent sized seeds, so you can give them a decent bit of cover. Problem is the seed will swell if you don't cover it enough, and then it'll end up poking out the top and exposing itself just a little bit too early. So you want some soil on there so that they don't jump out when they swell up, because the seed swells with the water to germinate. And hopefully we have happy little pumpkins. Make sure it's nice and tight so they've got contact with the soil. And then yeah, get them some labels on. What I might do is just pop there, and then these 4 here, so I don't forget what I just sowed. Right, I'll just make some room. And I will show you how I make labels out of an ice cream container lid. So you just cut around the edges. It's a cheap way to make them. And then I sort of look about the size that I want, and then just do strips of those down it. And because I can't cut straight, you're probably going to have some that are skinnier than others, but hey, not all perfectionists around here. See, look at that, wibbly as. I don't think the plants care. Alright, and then those in half, and then all I do is make a little cut there, and then we have a little label. I get my little jar, put them in there. And then just because that one's slightly smaller at this end, I'll make that end the tip, and then I still have room at the other end for writing. Great way to make free lids, and they last for ages. And we all like eating ice cream, so we always tend to have a lot of ice cream lids around here. And there we go. Just a small amount of rubbish left. Alright, let's write some labels. Right, everything is labelled, and now we're going to try and find. We actually probably need to put them in that tray so that they can get some water. So we'll move those guys to this green tray here. I've got trays everywhere. Excuse plants. They'll be alright. Right. Hopefully that tray is big enough. Oh, it might be a bit of a squeeze. Just just fit. Might have to give them a wee wiggle around just to get them to sit in there properly. So they all get the right amount of water. Alright, and then we need to get back into here. Oops. Knocked it over. Forgot that was on there. As you do. Right, where we'll put the top. I had to find another container because, no, they would not sit nicely in that. So we found another container and put some water in. And now we're going to sow some beetroot. So I buy these ones because I like these ones. These are very nice. Nice and big too, and nice dark red, as it says. So we'll get a container into a tray, because I've got plenty of space out in the garden that I've got set aside for them. And we'll just do the whole tray and sprinkle them on there. Yeah, I think we'll stick the whole packet in. That's the little seeds, so I don't worry about spacing, just sprinkle them on the top. Since I'm going to transplant them, growing them like this doesn't really matter. There's actually plenty on there, so what we'll do is we'll save the rest of that for another sowing later on. So there we go, just sprinkled them around. Like I say, it doesn't really matter. If you're going to transplant them out, just have to be careful when you're pricking them out. And smaller seeds, so I like covering, but not too light because of the casing that they're in, they will swell. So we'll go with medium coverage. Oh, the sun's coming back out again. Having a cloudy day today. It's coming and going. Remove the big chunks so they've got a chance to push through. One or two just still showing there. There we go. Alright, and a label so we remember what we planted. There we go. The new label's coming in handy already. Right, and then we'll just do some shuffling around in here. I'm not too worried about giving them a water at this stage because the soil is quite wet, but I will have to, oh, I might just give it a little pour over. This one I don't have a bottom for, so we'll just make sure that the soil is moist, not too much, it's already quite damp. There we go. Right. And the other thing I was going to do today was get these guys out, because even though it was windy a couple of days ago, we finally have the covers on those, and it's going to go they're going to go into, where are they? That one. And the reason we cover it is because we have pūkekos around here. And if you live in New Zealand, you know pūkekos love to eat potatoes. So we'll cover them up. We don't see them much during the day, but sometimes they sneak on here at night. So I need to go and grab a few things and then we'll set up and we'll go ahead and get the potatoes in finally. I'll load up the wheelbarrow with the soil and the potatoes and gloves. And I'm going to be trying something different this year. So I'm going to bury them in the vegetable mix, and that gives the seed potato soil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put hay on them. I don't have straw, so I won't even worry about that, but we've got hay. So we'll get the hay and we'll top them on top of that, put them on top of that. And there's the hay. So now we've got everything in the wheelbarrow. Just need to get it out the shed and up the hill. Lift it up this corner, everything's in there, so in we go. Oh, quite nice in here. So I think I'll just do a row or so down that side. Probably should have brought a little spade as well. Better go and get that. I covered this garden all with old silage, so it's been really good for weed suppression. So I'm just going to clear a spot and then put a bit of the vegetable seed raising mix in, and then put one of those in, and then we'll cover it with the hay. Lots of worms in my soil, that's always a good thing. So we grab that bit's got to be facing up, so make sure when you put it in, just lie it so it's facing up. I'm just going to put it into the soil like that. Give it a wee coverage, and then not put that back on top. And then basically that, all the way up. You don't necessarily have to use vegetable mix like I am into each hole, it's just I've not worked with this soil before. And so it's brand new soil for gardening, so I'm still working on its structure. If you've got a really nice garden and you've used it before, you probably don't even need to worry about putting the vegetable mix on it. But I'm just doing it because, like I said, it's new soil here, so we're just helping to improve it as we go. It's probably hard to see, especially since it blends in with that, but you can sort of see I've done 2 rows, just lightly covered, and then hopefully in a little while we'll see some heads pop up there, and then we'll put some more hay around it and pile them up. Same as mounding but with hay. So, and now I need to go and also buy myself some more potatoes because I have to fill up, I would like to fill up, the rest with more potatoes. Right, and that's all we've gone to do today. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.